Here are the top stories for today, June 20, 2019. The Philippines and China seek to resolve the Recto Bank incident carefully and peacefully. The Department of Justice orders the investigation on the killings of militant members in Bicol. Road projects in Mindanao will soon materialize with the help of foreign funding. And death toll in India due to heatwave rises to 92.
Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The Philippines and China seek to resolve the Recto Bank incident through diplomacy. This, according to Wang Yiwei, a professor and director of the Institute of International Affairs at Renmin University. Yiwei described the collision of boats as a more complex and that both governments intend to resolve the issue carefully and peacefully. Meanwhile, Philippine Ambassador to China Jose Santiago Santa Romana said it was the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that initiated the meeting with him. In his speech at the closing celebration of Philippine Independence Day in Beijing on June 16, Santa Romana said that the two governments seek to resolve the differences through diplomacy. This was also echoed by Foreign Ministry spokesperson Lu Kang during a press conference early this week, saying the Chinese government sympathizes to Filipino fishermen who were in distress. The Department of National Defense has allocated 5.56 billion pesos for the purchase of two brand new landing docks for the Philippine Navy. A landing dock is an amphibious warship with a well deck for transport and landing craft and amphibious vehicles. Currently, this functioning is carried out by two Tarlac-class strategic seal-fit vessels, which were acquired from an Indonesia shipbuilder in 2016 and 2017. Funded through the revised Armed Forces Modernization Program, the contract also includes 4 landing craft utility and 4 units of rigid hull inflatable boats with integrated logistics support. The Philippine Navy requires the winning bidder to have a tie-up with local companies or shipyards to make sure that at least one landing dock is constructed here in the country. President Rodrigo Duterte on Wednesday night criticized the New People's Army for spoiling the development efforts in Samar. More on this from Miguel Hill.
In his speech at the Philippine Army 8th Infantry Division headquarters in Catbalogan City, Samar, Duterte said the vast natural resources in Samar is a key to development, but presence of NPAs is a major setback.
Ngayon, itong Samar, itong mga NPA, I'm sure dadating yan sa kanila. You know, it's a beautiful island or beautiful group of islands. Marami dito ang isda, and we can always, given the industry of the Filipino pag may pera, we can always develop this place into something that would make the Filipino happy. Ewan ko itong mga NPA na to, they have been fighting 53 years sa gobyerno, estudyante pa ako.
Duterte urged the rebels to lay down their arms since they will never win a war against the government. He even urged them to learn new skills and contribute to the country's food production.
This is why I encourage the remaining rebels to repudiate your outdated ideology, abandon your extreme activities, and return to the folds of the law. I mean, choose a better fight in life. Iyang makapabuti sa anak mo, kapwa-tao mo, sa gobyerno mo. Baski yung pera na kakunti-kunti para sa ating bayan, paghati-hatian natin yan para gumana naman ang lahat ng buhay ng Pilipino. Pero if you remain to fight, well, problema ninyo yan.
Meanwhile, the President lauded members of the Army's 8th Infantry Division for its anti-insurgency efforts that led to the arrest and surrender of more than 1,500 rebels in eastern Visayas. For the PNA Newsroom, I am Miguel Hill.
The Department of Justice, or DOJ, has ordered a thorough investigation into the deaths of 3 individuals last week in the Bicol region. The victims were identified as members of groups Karapatan and Bayan Muna. Ryan Hubilia and Neri Bagasala, alleged members of Karapatan, were reportedly killed in Sorsogon on June 15. On the other hand, Neptali Moraga, former Bayan Muna Bicol Regional Coordinator, was killed in Naga, Camarines Sur on June 17. DOJ Undersecretary Mark Perete confirmed that the creation of 2 special investigating teams to be led by prosecutors to investigate the 3 killings. The National Task Force to End Local Communist Armed Conflict, or NTF-LCAC, earlier expressed fear that the recent killing of the 2 human rights group members in Sorsogon is allegedly the handiwork of the Communist Party of the Philippines' New People's Army. According to General Antonio Parlade Jr., it is most likely that the killing was executed by the CPP to support their filing of writs of amparo and habeas data, the basis of which were their allegations of government harassment and attacks. Parlade called on the Commission on Human Rights to seriously investigate the murder of Hubilia and Bagasala. The chief of Eastern Police District has been relieved from his post for allegedly assaulting a policewoman. More on these and other news around the metro from Janice Cabe.
Eastern Police District Director Christopher Tambungan has been relieved from his post after he allegedly assaulted a female police officer last month. Tambungan allegedly hit Corporal April Santiago in the head and intentionally opened his car door to hit the lady cop after the latter failed to help him in a task. NCRPO Chief Guillermo Elizar ordered the transfer of Tambungan to his office. He said Tambungan's behavior was unbecoming of a police officer. Meanwhile, 2 Filipinos were killed while 3 others were injured following a train and car accident in New Zealand. The incident happened at the Bay of Plenty on Pongakawa School Road in northern New Zealand. The Philippine Embassy in Wellington is coordinating with local authorities to identify the Filipinos and provide assistance. In other news, the COMELEC First Division will deliberate on the testimonies of both parties on the substitution of Ronald Cardema as the first nominee of Duterte Youth Party List. 2 petitions have been filed before the poll body against the substitution of the Youth Party List's first nominee. The first was filed by Raul Daniel Manuel of the National Union of Students of the Philippines, Paula Sabrin Janer of the College Editors Guild of the Philippines, and Raina Punzalan of the Youth Act, Now Against Tyranny. The second petition was filed by petitioners Aunel Ross Angcos, Syra Aurelio, and Hannah Navarroza. They claim that the 34-year-old Cardema is no longer eligible to represent the group since he is already overage. The Commission on Bank said it will not yet issue the certificate of proclamation to the Duterte Youth Party List group. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cave.
Veteran actor Eddie Garcia has passed away on Thursday afternoon after being in coma for days. He was 90. Garcia suffered a neck cervical fracture while shooting a TV series for broadcast giant GMA Network on June 8 and had been in critical condition. GMA said it is investigating the absence of a medical team on the set. Garcia was named the Pinakamahusay na Pangunahing Aktor Award for his performance in the 2018 Cinemalaya film ML during the 42nd Gawad Urian Awards on Tuesday. The multi-awarded actor, film director, and producer appeared in over 600 films and television shows, leaving behind a huge legacy in show business spanning 7 decades.
Still to come, the Supreme Court denied the motions for reconsideration filed by parties questioning the extension of martial law and the suspension of the writ of habeas corpus in Mindanao. And Antique officials who have official trips in Manila are encouraged to utilize PAL Express. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
The Environment, Tourism, and Interior Departments recommended to close Boracay for 6 months.
To address issues such as illegal structures and faulty drainage systems that is affecting Boracay's prized beach.
The last time na nandito is 2017. It's actually crowded. Sobrang dami ng tao. Everywhere, makikita mo talaga bars and drinks and makalat talaga.
We had more cases of skin disease. We had more cases of diarrhea.
So nagkasama-sama lahat ng mga agencies, tiningnan ano ba ang plano natin sa Boracay, compliance on Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, at saka yung ating environmental compliance.
When they started demolishing, we saw that there was action, that they put their money where their mouth is.
Lahat ng nagamit na tubig ng customer, we collect it through our sewer lines and then it goes through a treatment process sa treatment plant.
It was nice that it happened. Finally, Boracay got the attention it is in deep need of.
I think a lot of work was done during the closure. The water is clear, the oceans are clean, and there seems to be a lot of wildlife returning. We had for the first time in 10 years, we had turtles hatching on the beach a couple of days ago.
During the closure, you could see like the eagles came back and everything that we have had for a long time.
Pumasyal pa nga yung mga kwan dito Udanding, galing ho na Cebu.
In the end, it's a good thing, yes. It was hard for us, but it was also a wake-up call.
The beach was cleaned up and is officially set to reopen on October 26th.
Wala lang na kumakain sa beach, bawal ng manigarilyo.
Gumanda yung isla namin as in bumalik sa dati na ambience.
We teach kids about pollution, solid waste management, because they're the ones who will sustain all the things that we're doing now.
Philippine and Japanese officials signed on Tuesday an agreement to finance the construction and improvement of roads in Mindanao's conflict-affected areas. The loan, worth $202 million, will cover several road sites in Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao. It also aims to reinvigorate local economies and reduce poverty in its communities by linking them to Mindanao's trade centers. The construction involves the improvement of about 176 kilometers of access roads, including parts of the Marawi Ring Road and the Marawi Trans-Central Road. The Supreme Court denied the motions for reconsideration filed by parties which questioned the extension of martial law and the suspension of the writ of habeas corpus in Mindanao. In a resolution dated June 4, the Supreme Court en banc denied with finality the said motion for reconsideration and the urgent motion for reconsideration, both dated February 27, 2018. President Rodrigo Duterte issued Proclamation number 216 in 2017, which declared martial law and suspended the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus in Mindanao following the Marawi siege. Among the petitioners in the dismissed cases are Representative Edsa Lagman, Christian S. Munsod, Loretta Rosales, and Eufemia Culyama. Antique officials and employees who have official trips to Metro Manila are told to avail of the Philippine Airlines Express flights as their way of supporting its presence in the province. Governor Rodora Cadiao issued an executive order on June 11 telling provincial officials to patronize PAL Express. PAL Express currently has 3 flights from Clark to Antique Airport and vice versa. She said the flights are beneficial to the development of the province and should be maintained. The PAL Express from Antique to Clark flight could also cut down travel time going to Manila through Iloilo. The Bangsamoro Transition Plan is now in place and in effect after the Bangsamoro Transition Authority approved its implementation on Tuesday. Interim Chief Minister of the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, Al-Hajj Murad Ibrahim, submitted the plan on Monday for scrutiny and eventual approval. The plan includes steps on transitioning from ARMM to the newly established form of government. It also includes organization charts for the various ministries, offices, and agencies from the BARMM, as well as its timeline for the gradual phasing out of agencies and offices. The transition period will end once the new set of BARMM officials have been elected in 2022. Batanes State University opens a job fair for new graduates. And over 4,000 residents in Dagupan City are vaccinated for encephalitis. More on these and other news from the provinces from Bench Bondok.
In Batanes, a job fair opened today in Batanes State College. The job fair aims to provide opportunities to new graduates and other aspiring job seekers. About 49 vacancies were offered by the Batanes State College, TESDA, and several other private companies in the province. In Dagupan City, Pangasinan, over 4,000 residents availed of the free Japanese encephalitis vaccine. The vaccination drive were held from April 29 to May 31 this year. The shots were given to children between 9 months to 15 years of age as well as adults. This is to curb the spread of Japanese encephalitis, a viral disease that can be acquired from the bite of carrier mosquitoes, pigs, and flying birds. Pangasinan has recorded 74 cases since 2016. In General Santos City, the Commission on Elections is targeting the conduct of special elections in November. This is for the 1st and 3rd legislative districts of South Cotabato, including General Santos City. The special elections are in line with the approval last March of Republic Act 11243, which reapportioned the 1st District of South Cotabato and established the city as the province's 3rd district. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Bench Bondok.
Up next, Grab Philippines warns of canceling its customers' accounts who cancel their orders via GrabFood. And picky and fussy eaters may increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases and type 2 diabetes. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
I am pleased to provide an overview of the President's visit to Bangkok to participate in the 34th ASEAN Summit, which will take place on June 22 to 23. The summit will be attended by the heads of government and states of all ASEAN member states, all 10 of them. And we will give you later a listing of the heads of state. But the chair of this year's summit is Thailand, headed by Thai Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha. The President will be accompanied by the Secretaries of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Industry, Social Welfare and Development, Finance, Transportation, Tourism, and Agriculture. In all, a total of 7 secretaries. ASEAN's theme for this year is Advancing Partnership for Sustainability, which calls for ASEAN to be more effective in responding to the changing global and regional architecture, to be better prepared for the 4th Industrial Revolution, to be more integrated through enhanced connectivity in the region, and to be focused on sustainable development. There will be several important events for the Philippines during the summit, namely, first, the summit plenary, second, the gala dinner for the leaders, third, the leaders' retreat, and fourth, the 13th BIMP-IAGA Summit. At the plenary session on June 22, the leaders will discuss ASEAN community building under the theme Advancing Partnership for Sustainability, and there will be a retreat of the leaders during which they will exchange views on ASEAN's external relations and the way forward, as well as significant regional and international issues. This will be the President's third visit to Thailand since assuming office. His previous visits were in November 2016 and in March 2017. The President will leave Thailand on June 24.
Grab Philippines warns that it will suspend the accounts of customers who cancel their orders through its food delivery service, GrabFood. Grab is tightening its policies to prevent incidents of unclaimed orders due to consumer no-shows or those who do not show up when the rider delivers their orders. The company said GrabFood does not allow order cancellations once orders are placed by the delivery partner at merchant restaurants. It also said that customer no-show constitute only 0.01% of its transactions. A petition has gone viral over social media asking Grab to remove its cancel option on its GrabFood app in response to posts sympathizing with GrabFood drivers whose orders were canceled midway by customers. And in our foreign news, the death toll in India's eastern state of Bihar due to blistering heat wave has risen to 92. Local officials said Wednesday that deaths have been reported from Aurangabad, Gaya, Nawada, and Jamui districts during the past 4 days of heat wave. It comes at a time when the state is already battling with the child deaths due to acute encephalitis syndrome. Most of the victims were above 50 years old, while 200 children are undergoing treatment. Schools in the state were closed up to June 22nd in wake of the intense heat wave. And in sports, the NLEX Road Warriors finally broke through in the PBA Commissioner's Cup by drubbing the Meralco Bolts on Wednesday night. The Road Warriors nearly squandered a huge 23-point lead but managed to break their 6th loss, no-win record in the mid-season tourney. Tony Mitchell dished out a huge game with 32 points and 20 rebounds and made crucial plays to fend off the Bolts' fourth-quarter fight-back. Meralco suffered a third straight loss and dropped to a 3 wins and 5 losses overall. Meanwhile, Northport Batang Pier weathered through a manpower deficit to slip past Rain or Shine Elasto Painters on overtime. Mo Tautua scored a career-high 34 points, while Robert Pollock, Sean Anthony, and Garvo Lanete also had their moments. They officially played for the first time in 5 years without Pringle, who traded just last Tuesday to Barangay Ginebra. Northport played minus the injured Nico Elorde, Jonathan Gray, Lervin Flores, and Bradwin Ginto, while Sol Mercado, Kevin Ferrer, and Jervy Cruz, all acquired from Ginebra for Pringle, have yet to be assimilated to the Northport system. Are you or your children afraid of trying new kinds of food and sticking instead to your usual favorites? Researchers say this show of food preference may actually lead to lifestyle diseases. Researchers from University of Helsinki in Finland and University of Tartu in Estonia examined the independent impact of eating behavior and especially food neophobia on dietary quality as well as lifestyle diseases and their risk factors. Food neophobia is an eating behavior trait in which a person refuses to taste and eat food items or foods that are not familiar. Recent studies show that food neophobia may lower the quality of a person's dietary intake and increase the risk of lifestyle disorders such as cardiovascular diseases and type 2 diabetes. Additionally, a significant association was found between food neophobia and adverse fatty acid profile and increased level of inflammatory markers in blood. Traits similar to food neophobia includes picky and fussy eating. Teaching children to get used to finishing their food may help combat neophobia. Cloudy periods with rain will be experienced over Ilocos region, Batanes, the Babuyan group of islands, Bataan, Zambales, the western part of Calabarzon, and Metro Manila. The rest of the country will experience scattered rain showers and thunderstorms. Meanwhile, a low-pressure area may form northwest of Palawan. Meanwhile, let's check out for the weather forecast for the rest of the country. Here's another look at today's biggest stories.
The Philippines and China seek to resolve the Recto Bank incident carefully and peacefully. The Department of Justice orders the investigation on the killings of militant members in Bicol. Road projects in Mindanao will soon materialize with the help of foreign funding. And death toll in India due to heatwave rises to 92.
Thank you for watching another edition of the PNA Newsroom. To check out these and other stories, visit the PNA website or follow the Philippine News Agency on Facebook and Twitter. For more stories about the government and how it serves the Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. And that's your daily dose of the latest news and information that you need to know. From the PNA Newsroom, I am William Theo. Good day.